As companies adjust their business models to adapt to this new normal of digital interactions and transactions, most cannot adapt fast enough to combat the growing risk of cyber threats. Organizations need to constantly update their cybersecurity technology and security strategies if they want to keep up in the new digital space. With cyber threats evolving rapidly in recent years, the demand for enhanced technology architectures, investment, and support models is increasing every day. Now more than ever, companies need to improve their cybersecurity posture in order to keep their network, data, and their customers' data safe. As a provider of best-in-class solutions, Eastern Communications possesses the ideal high-touch and high-tech products and services that can not only help your company better adapt to the digital landscape, but can also provide you with the latest in cybersecurity services. This is where our strong connection with Fortinet comes in. Fortinet secures the largest enterprises, service providers, and government organizations around the world. Only their unique security fabric architecture can deliver security without compromise to address your company's needs. Managing your company's security from various portals and windows can be stressful and confusing for your security team. Fortiseam is Fortinet's security incident and event management service that brings together visibility, correlation, automated response, and remediation in a single scalable solution. This provides your company with a more holistic view of your business's security and availability by combining
All right. So good afternoon, dear customers.
Good afternoon.
Yep. Once again, good afternoon, dear customers, and thank you for attending our webinar today about securing your hybrid work environment. So once again, this is in partnership with Eastern Communications and our distributor, VST ECS. So before anything else, allow me to introduce myself. So my name is Mark Kayubit. So I'm the Channel and Alliance Manager from Fortinet Philippines. So I'm in charge of our managed services partners, which are mostly telcos, as well as partnership and alliances with leading cloud vendors like AWS, Azure, Google, Alibaba Cloud, Oracle Cloud, and etc. Right. So over the past year or so, right, technology has been steadily evolving to provide workers with more flexibility regarding the device they use, the locations they can work from, and the resources that they can access. So initiatives like BYOD and cloud were the first step for enabling people to work from anywhere, right? Then SaaS, or software as a service, combined with smarter endpoints with LTE and 5G connectivity, transformed businesses, allowing them to compete more effectively in an increasingly digital marketplace. Now, while we were on pace to eventually embrace a true work from anywhere or WFA strategy sometime in the next few years, this COVID-19 pandemic has really shifted or accelerated the need for that. And after a year or so,
Wait lang.
workers are now demanding that employers provide a work from anywhere option or WFA, right? Now, to back up that with some studies, according to Gartner, by the end of 2024, WFA strategy, right, is really needed. In fact, changing the nature of work will increase the total available remote worker to about 60% of all employees, which is up from 52% back in 2020. Also, according to Gartner, organizations are facing a hybrid future wherein 75% of hybrid or remote knowledge workers, said that their expectation for working flexibly have increased. So having said that, the challenge is how to deliver a hybrid work experience which is safe and of course productive. So in this session, okay, our Fortinet subject matter expert, Mr. Chingping Wong, will share best practices on how to have a secure WFA or work from anywhere strategy. And of course, our partner Eastern Communications will share their services that can help equip your hybrid work environment, right? And later, we will also have a panel discussion on which our speakers will respond to some of your questions, right? And also, please stay tuned as we'll be giving away raffle prizes at the end of this session. Right. So with that, let me turn you over to Ms. Yel Las, Channel Sales Executive from VST ECS, to share some welcome remarks. So hi, Yel. The floor is yours.
Hi. Yeah, and thank you so much po, Sir Mark. So again, hello everyone. Good afternoon. So I'm Yel Las, your channel sales executive from VSTECS Fortinet. So welcome to ETPI We Emerge 2022 featuring the topic Securing Your Hybrid Work Environment. First, I would like to thank all of you for joining and having us today. I hope that this session will be a great opportunity to all of us. So without further ado, let me introduce our first speaker and to also grace our welcoming remarks. Antonio Ramos Casas is the head of strategic marketing of Eastern Communications. He has vast experience working for both the telecommunications and finance sector, ensuring customers find the most appropriate solutions for their pain points. He continues to share here his experience moving forward as is Eastern's lead for strategic marketing, helping businesses and consumers outside Metro Manila navigate through the new normal via Eastern's high-tech and high-touch ICT solutions. Let's all welcome Mr. Tony Casas. Good afternoon.
Thank you for that one. Thank you so much for that kind introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. So we're here to kick off another informative webinar about emerging cybersecurity in the hybrid workplace in the new normal. So in behalf of Eastern Communications, we'd like to thank you for taking the time and making the effort to attend the second round of our E-Huddle product track series in collaboration with Fortinet. Okay, so please allow me to give you a better appreciation of who Eastern is and what we do. Okay. So Eastern Communication is one of the Philippines' leading telecommunications and ICT solutions companies in the country. We at Eastern are committed to servicing and growing our business customer base, as well as consumer broadband customers, by understanding their needs, providing relevant products and services, and most especially providing exceptional customer service. At Eastern, on top of a solid and reliable technology, delighting our customers is at the forefront of our brand of personalized service because human connections are equally important. So, like most businesses, because of the pandemic, we had to accelerate our digital transformation journey, and we ourselves had to quickly pivot and shift our focus even more to non-core or non-traditional products and services. From connectivity, which was our bread and butter, we strengthened our ICT solutions portfolio to address the shifts in the way business is conducted and address the evolving needs of our customers. And now that the economy is opening up and is projected to go back to pre-pandemic levels, we have an extensive portfolio of high-tech and high-touch solutions to help businesses emerge stronger. Our data, internet, and voice services, which forms our connectivity solutions, provide you with reliable, congestion-free connectivity when and where you need it. To ensure that your company resources, the devices connected to your network, can efficiently communicate with each other and other networks and enable you to efficiently conduct your day-to-day business operations, we have a healthy suite of products like SASE, SD-WAN, and Teleworker Gateway under our network solutions portfolio. Our security solutions cover application, endpoint, network, and even cloud. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I was moving, so let me go back to my first. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I accidentally unable to unmute myself and start my video. So let me go back first. So first, thank you for that kind introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. And we're here to kick off another informative webinar about emerging cybersecurity in the hybrid workplace in the new normal. So on behalf of Eastern Communications, we'd like to thank you for taking the time and making the effort to attend the second round of our E-Huddle product tracks in collaboration with Fortinet. So, okay. I believe, I'm sorry, I had the technical down, but I believe I ended up here, okay, for our portfolio. So going back, for our third portfolio, which is our cloud and data center solutions, this ensures that you have the right resources to be flexible and agile so that you can innovate faster, collaborate seamlessly, and serve efficiently. The way business is conducted has shifted, and our business applications And our business application ensure that your employees are productive and efficient anywhere they are. And finally, as your business partner, we have to provide you with consulting, maintenance, and delivery services to make sure that you have the right solutions to address your business needs with our Eastern services. So we believe that our commitment to provide solutions fit for our partners' needs all starts with the heart of service. And we demonstrate this through our brand of personalized services. We offer the right solutions, choose the right talent, and work with only the best partners, such as Fortinet, for the segments and industries that we serve, which include BPOs, ICT and software development, conglomerates, banking and finance, retail distribution and manufacturing, government and services, international and wholesale, regional operations, small and medium businesses, and consumer. So over the years, we have continued to adhere to international standards and best practices. We have acquired accreditations and certifications that establish our credibility and competency to provide support and maintain our network with stability and consistency. We are the first telco in the country to be an ISO 9001-2015 certified. This is as a testament to our commitment continuously improving the quality of our products and services. We are Carry Internet 2.0 certified by the Metro Internet Forum, enabling us to deliver multiple classes of service and manageability over interconnected provider networks. As a Cisco Premier partner, we reinforce our expertise in network design and implementation. As a Microsoft Silver partner, we are able to solidify our position as technical expert in Microsoft Cloud, collaboration, and productivity solutions. As part of the Eastern's advocacy in bringing innovative, high-tech, and high-touch experiences to its clients, we ensure best-in-class customer experience through insightful programs such as our Link VIP Club and Manila Connect kiosk partnership. So for our Link VIP Club initiatives, these allows us to strengthen our bond and relationships with our partners by extending special perks and privileges to loyal customers. It exemplifies our vision to have the most delighted and happiest customers and to see businesses prosper. Through our Manila Connect kiosk partnership, we show our support to the local government of Manila in their efforts to transform the city of Manila into a more progressive and digitized community for its citizens. Moreover, we have been actively supporting industry associations, NGOs, and communities in bridging the gap in the connectivity and ICT spaces of their businesses by introducing cutting-edge and up-to-date solutions. These collaborations have given us the opportunity to broaden the technological consciousness of local enterprises by sharing new ways of thinking and best practices through esteemed thought leaders featured in our partnership events. Through our main offices located in Makati, Cebu, and even Iloilo, including various sales and operations teams dispersed in our regional technical office centers, Eastern Communications ensures consistency in delivering SLAs required by today's modern and evolving businesses. We have over 170 nodes throughout the country that provide various wide area network solutions that may address our clients' customized requirements. We have more than 5,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable installed in key cities around the country. Using our network's dense wavelength division multiplexing or DWDM technology, we're able to meet the modern demands of the market by allowing us to manage network traffic through an efficient and scalable approach. Our 7 points of presence and major loops across Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao are designed to run through diverse routes, guaranteeing our customers' links are protected and redundant, reducing the possibility of downtime and service interruptions. Our facilities expect calamities, so we have redundant equipment and backup power management set in place for certain issues. And finally, like everyone else, the network always needs to be monitored and improved. So we monitor and update it as we go along to make sure we are constantly improving. We have a long-standing commitment to see businesses prosper and families better connected. To do our part in nation building, which is why our expansion efforts in other regions and areas are ongoing to support nationwide services, especially the underserviced communities. We have already expanded our services to cover Iloilo, Davao City, Cagayan de Oro, and Bacolod. This March, we will fire up Legazpi and Sorsogon, Naga and Dumaguete this April. So for the other areas like Rojas, Calibo, Boracay, Zamboanga, Butuan, and Tagbilaran, this will follow in the coming months. To serve the needs of our customers, to connect to their offices and partners outside the country, we have diverse routes and capacities across intra-Asia and trans-Pacific cable networks, ensuring the availability of low latency connections between the Philippines and the rest of the world. So all the hard work and all the effort that we put into what we do to make sure that we provide only the best products and level of service our customers need and deserve have not gone unrecognized. Over the years, we have garnered awards from both local and foreign business award-giving bodies. But to us, these are more than just awards. To us, these recognitions are a testament to our fulfillment of cutting-edge products with service that is unwavering, unflagging, and undeniably strong, and a constant reminder for us to continue to do better and always go back to our purpose of bringing back the human connection in everything that we do. So with that, I would like to thank you once again for spending a part of your afternoon with us. If there's anything that we can help you and your business with, please do not hesitate to contact us through any of our channels, or please contact your Eastern account manager. They will be more than willing to help to have a conversation with you. So once again, thank you and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Tony Casas. Moving to our next speaker, Chingping or CP champions Fortinet's SD-WAN and security fabric solutions to the Southeast Asia Hong Kong market. His passion as technology evangelist is to advocate the shift to adopting a holistic fabric approach to network security. Before Fortinet, CP spent more than 10 years in product development and engineering with a leading telco in Southeast Asia, bringing new technologies and solutions to the market. CP holds a Master of Engineering from the National University of Singapore and an MBA from the University of Manchester. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for CP Wong.
Hello, and very good afternoon to everyone, and thank you for attending. So let me just share my screen in a while. I hope you can see my screen now, right? My name is Chingping. You can call me CP. I'm from Fortinet. I'm based out of Singapore, and I cover the Southeast Asia and Hong Kong region. As Yale mentioned just now, right? I'm very into sharing new technologies and whatnot and throughout the space of my career itself. So hopefully in today's session, well, I can share a little bit on what hybrid work entails, and from Fortinet's point of view, what's needed for you, and what's the solutions that we can put together to help you better enable hybrid work. But before that, right, let us just, okay, what do we mean, really by hybrid work, right? When Mark started today's session, he talked about, being able to work from home, work from anywhere, and that truly is what we mean by hybrid work, right? I recall just maybe 3 weeks ago, I went to a customer's meeting here in Singapore. So the room itself was only, I think, 4 of us, right? 2 from Fortinet, 2 from the customer. And then we had a group of people in a Zoom call like this. So we were talking about, we are going to revamp the office. So the office space itself is going to change. Why? So they gave us a very simple example, right? We say, okay, look at this meeting, right? We are here, 4 of us in this meeting, and we have the other guys over on online in that same meeting, and we think that it's going to continue, right? Not because of the pandemic, but because knowledge workers like yourselves are going to choose to work differently, going forward. And organizations want to be able to support this shift in behavior, shift in mindset. Like it or not, it is being brought about by the past 2 years of lockdowns and whatnot. But the good thing is, there's a change in behavior and a change in, you can say, lifestyle. Another thing that I want to share with you, right, is that over here, we are slowly opening up, right? So we say, okay, we can allow 50% of the workforce to come back. So my sister, she works in one of the consultancy companies. So she said, okay, one of the days she went back 50%, right? And you guess what? When she was back in the office, she's the only one, right? So we can have all the rules, but end of the day, knowledge workers are going to choose, right? Whether they want to work from home, work in the office, or maybe work downstairs in a cafe. I think many of you will be very familiar with this situation, and it's going to continue. So how do we enable that from a networking, IT infrastructure, security point of view, right? We want to be able to enable this hybrid workforce. So what are the things that that entails? And if you're looking at the trend, right, we are talking about, being able to allow our workforce, and especially the knowledge workers, right, to work from anywhere. And with that, we not just talking about giving them this good digital experience. I think that's way past, right? We are talking about being able to secure this work experience or this digital experience. So that's from inside out, right? We want to be able to secure that. But at the same time, we need to defend what's coming in, preventing cyber attacks that may happen to your organization, because it's a given, right? We want to be able to enable a digital work from any work experience. It's good for us, the organization. It's the cyber attackers also realize that it's good for them, right? So we need to be able to do that. It seems like there's a lot of things here, right? We are talking about users' devices. We are talking about your applications, and your applications served by the network infrastructure or the IT infrastructure that you have. And then lastly, we are talking about preventing attacks coming from outside. So the operational side of things becomes very important, right? I would say previously, if anybody, right, were to think that, okay, IT is just a supporting function, I think they have to really think twice. It's already at the forefront. We are driving the business itself through digital initiatives, and we can't allow it to have downtime, right? We want it to be always up, and we can't allow it to be to be under cyber attack. Well, we can't prevent a cyber attack, but to be able to detect and respond to it. And to that, we need skills, right? We need skilled people to do that. But sad to say, there is a general shortage in the industry itself, right? So these are the trends, and these are the challenges that we need to be able to address as an industry. So I talked about user and device, and I think when it comes to supporting work from anywhere or hybrid working environment, this is kind of the start of the issue and the crux of it, right? So what do we mean by that, right? We have users, we have devices who are going to access your company's network and resources, regardless of where they are, right? Independent of the location. So we need to be able to then say, hey, I know where you're coming from. What's the security posture that I want to make sure that you have before you're allowed in, right? The first thing that will come to all of our minds, right, especially having gone through the work from home era, right, is that, okay, we can do VPN. VPN actually solves one problem, and that is, well, you can say secure connectivity, right? The networking part of things, right? It doesn't solve the other security portion. Right? And what do we mean, right? It means that, you know, who is the user coming in? Yeah, you think that you can do authentication, 2FA, but this user, what device is he using? Is your device patched? Do you have any vulnerable software, etc.? Right. So these are the questions. Maybe at the beginning, 2020, people haven't given such thoughts, but as time progresses, as they put in all these VPN technologies, solutions, they realize that, hey, there is a gap there, and we need to be able to address that. And this is what Fortinet's hybrid work or work from anywhere solution will be able to address for you, right? So end of the day, we are talking about, hey, not just in your office itself, not just you know, when you're traveling, not just in a cafe, hotel, and also at home, right? Everywhere itself, you need to be able to provide that enterprise-grade networking and security solutions to all your users, right? So in that aspect, we are talking about not just connectivity, but also be able to keep on detecting and the security posture of your devices, of the person, right? Be able to respond to any changes, or especially if that device or the person turns rogue, right? So prevention is just one part of it. Detection and response becomes equally important, right? And I mentioned just now, right? Fortinet enables that secure hybrid work environment. And to simplify things, just look at it from a very, very simple concept, right? Here on the right side, you have the cloud, data center, SaaS, something that you know, Mark alluded to, right, in his opening remarks. And I believe all your organizations will have something like that, right, in certain ways, be it a combination of all or just one, right? But data center information resides there. Your business processes, right, digital businesses reside there for the purpose of users who are going to access and make use of those data information to work, to carry out daily business itself. And the crux of the matter is they're going to be anywhere, right? Be it in the office, working from home, or traveling, or commuting for that matter, right? So first look, we say, hey, if you want to be able to protect all this, we are talking about three things here, right? The usual network security is going to be there. You have your data security, application security at the cloud side, right? And then you say, okay, we want to be able to allow secure access. And of course, there's also that endpoint security part of things. So let's start at the endpoint security piece, right? We are talking about, okay, being able to not just the traditional, not just the traditional antivirus, because we know cyber attacks are going to happen and are going to evolve, right? We need a mechanism for you to be able to address new threats, unknown threats that could be directly targeting your organizations itself. And today in the market itself, we are talking about EDR, right? Endpoint detection and response. Next gen AV, if you will, but generally a technology that is signatureless and enables you to block attacks and at the same time do some threat hunting, right? Because when you have so-called one patient, right, you want to be able to make sure that the rest of your organization, the rest of your infrastructure remains intact, right, from any compromise. That's the first one. The other thing that we want to be able to do from an endpoint perspective is zero trust. I'm sure many of you have heard of this word, right? ZTNA, Zero Trust Network Access. Basically, always check, always verify before you allow anyone to access the network. I like to say that it's a little bit like guilty until proven innocent. So everybody who tries, or everything that tries to access your network in whatever way, be it on the LAN or in a VPN, has to be verified and continuously verified when they are in the network itself. Right? So that's the endpoint part of things. Oh, and I want to point out also, right? When we are talking about access and all that, you will see here there's this piece of home networking, right? In large organizations, certain people you may want to be able to build a home network for them. And how do you do it effectively, right? So so-called a solution itself that is integrated to this whole security or this identification structure, right, would be required. And then at the right side, pretty much things that you are hopefully very familiar with, right? Being able to do a next-gen firewall, be it virtual or appliance within your cloud and your data center, and for SaaS applications itself, SASE, right? Or network as a service, or SWG as a service kind of solution that is out there, right? As Sir Tony alluded to earlier on. So when we see this, right, I like to call this the alphabet soup of networking and security, right? As a implementer from IT itself, the traditional wisdom or the tendency is to just go out, right, and look for various vendors who are going to provide you solutions A, B, C, D, right, up to whichever, right? If you ask IDC, the answer is 300 something, right? Security solutions alone out there. And with each vendor coming in, they're going to have their own threat intelligence, they're going to have their own policy engine, right? Another authentication engine, right? And what is this? A whole set of licenses, right? So it becomes a kind of a challenge, right? Because when I talk about four things there, right? The first one is, how when you have so many vendors, how are you going to integrate all of them together to make it work, right? And when you have so many various point solutions coming together, you may think that, oh, okay, they are the best and whatever, right? But end of the day, it's going to increase your licensing cost. It's going to increase your operational cost, right? Because you got to manage even more things. Then what about the users who are going to use here, right? The solution has to be seamless to them, right? Regardless where they are. I think this is also an important part for the IT to support the business itself. And lastly, when we are talking about security point of view, it's not just talking about routing your traffic from A to B. We are talking about contextual. What kind of traffic are you routing? What is the information that this person is trying to access? And these are all contextual information that different vendors are going to give you in different formats and all that, right? So how do you make sense of it when coming together? It makes it very difficult. And remember, one of the key challenges that I mentioned just now, shortage of people, shortage of skills, right? So it's going to make life kind of more difficult for you guys. So, and this is how Fortinet comes in and say, hey, we are able to provide you a solution full end-to-end from your users, devices. We're talking about the EDR solution, the ZTNA solution itself with Fortinet clients, okay? And together, working together, right, with your FortiGates. Hopefully, you're very familiar with FortiGates itself, in your cloud, in a data center, and even the SASE solution itself, all coming in together, right, to form that overlay network across whichever WAN solution that you're going to have, right, to then operate this work from anywhere network infrastructure seamlessly for your business and for your users. So did I say operate? And this is exactly how we envision it, right? We're talking about not just security operations. I like to coin the term, right? Unified cyber operations. What do we mean? We're talking about operating security and network all at the same time. And even though I have got it here, it's as for hybrid work, we are talking about being able to manage from a network IT administration, from a security point of view, your users, servers, network application security, right? adding in advanced threats to the phone, right? Together with your perimeter security, regardless what environment you're in, right? Be it your data center, your LAN, or the cloud itself. Right? And you have this NOC and SOC, or the Cyber Operations Center, doing that monitoring analysis, right? Reporting and responding to threats all across your organizations, right? So, this is basically what Fortinet's solution is to secure the hybrid work environment or work from anywhere. And we as a whole, Fortinet calls it the Fortinet Security Fabric, right? Covering at the core of it our threat intelligence, right? And a broad set of solutions, right? From a broad set of solutions from your endpoint, authentication, that's for zero trust, your LAN network, your WAN network, your segmentation in your data center and your cloud itself, right? And your application security, be it web applications, your APIs, email security, and what have you, right? And that's just the prevention part, remember? I talked about detection and response, right? And that's where integration comes in. When we are able to integrate all these solutions together, then it makes it easier for you to then give better context to every traffic that goes on, and be able to then help you detect any threats that's coming into the environment quickly. And why do you want to do that, right? So that certain mundane things, right, you are able to automate the response and be able to then address that last portion about cyber skills shortage, right? And so there have you, right? Fortinet solution for enabling a hybrid work environment. And I like to just leave you with three key takeaways, right? I think we all realize hybrid work is here. It's here to stay probably. But to be able to enable that, we need to consider various things, right? And the key to it is that we are able to support users coming from anywhere, be it home office or traveling, right, to access your data information in the data center or the cloud, and or the SaaS. And important thing is we are talking about users here, right? So how do we should be able to then not just enable the connectivity, but we want to be able to enable a seamless user experience and being able to secure all environments, right? Whichever one that I mentioned just now. And lastly, for you guys to be able to operate and manage this entire environment end to end, right, from both networking and security point of view, right, across your enterprise. Okay, so I leave you with this, and I'll pass the time back to Yel. Thank you.
Thank you, CP. Okay, thank you, CP. Before we proceed to our panel discussion, I would like to encourage everyone to please accomplish our feedback form. The QR code will be flashed on the screen, and we will be sharing the link in the chat box. The first 30 participants to answer the form will get 200 peso worth of Sodexo GC. This survey form will also serve as your ticket to our lucky draw later. But please note that we will be having a cutoff. Only those who respond before the end of the panel discussion will be included in the lucky draw. Once again, we will have a cutoff, so please accomplish the form to get a chance to win a prize. All right, now I give the floor back to my colleague Marka Yubit to moderate the panel discussion.
All right, thank you, Melissa. So once again, thank you, CP, for that very insightful presentation. I'm sure our audience here was able to pick up strategy that they can use as they plan for their hybrid work environment. So again, I'd like to remind everyone to please scan the QR code or go to the link that was posted in the chat box and fill out the survey form so that you'll be eligible to win a raffle prizes. So again, our cutoff for the survey form will be at the end of the panel discussion. So that's our cutoff, huh? Right? So moving on to our panel discussion Q&A. So let me call on Mr. Chingping Wong, Business Development Manager from Fortinet, and also Mr. Edsel Paglinawan, Product Innovations Head from Eastern Communications. CP, Sir Edsel, good afternoon, sirs.
Hi, Mark. Hi,
Hello, Mark.
guys. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, Sir Excel.
How are you guys? Yep. So let me see. I think okay. I think we have some questions here, no, that our audience would like to ask you, right? Again, CP, congratulations for a wonderful presentation. And again, good afternoon, Sir Edsel. So the first question, again, anyone can answer, probably Sir Edsel and CP, no? So the first question is, can we enable hybrid work with different vendor solutions? So the first question is, so I think this one is a customer, typical customer that's using different security solutions for their environment. So his question is, can they enable hybrid work for that kind of setup?
Yeah, maybe
Anyone?
let me just take that. Yeah. So yes, actually, if you remember the slide that I showed earlier on, right? I think the answer is definitely a yes. It's a resounding yes, and I wouldn't exclude the fact that many organizations have already done it, right? I think, but what we want to do is from a more strategic point of view, right? If you look slightly further, then is it the best thing to do, right, for the company itself? So something that we need to think about, right? So from a technology point of view, definitely. But if you're talking about operational point of view, and as we go higher up, right, the hierarchy, we want to think, hey, on a more strategic level, then chances are we really need to relook at the thoughts of having multiple vendors, and whether there's a better way to do things so that it's easier to operate your solution, your network, and also provide a better security, better user experience.
If I may share, yeah, also based on our conversations with our customers, though we're from the product team, we are also sometimes part of the customer consultations. And one of the most important things, well, aside from technology, yes, CP is right. From the technology perspective, I don't think that is not possible. But let's try to put at it on the simplification of the operations. Well, it's simplification or simplicity in the operations. And second, also, if there are some solutions available out there that will be able to help us build, we call it in Eastern, we call it the value-based argumentation, where if we are not going to use a single vendor or a single solution, for example, you're going to worry about the obsolescence, the end of life, the licenses, and even the settings of the QoS from the different devices, right? And the different dashboards. And it may be difficult, like how we are operating at the moment with chop suey network, right? With different flavors in our data centers. We need to build competency according to the different brands, not only on let's say multiple firewall, but different brands of firewall, comparing to single brand that can be just overstacked one after the other. Like for example, if we have the architecture that you showed earlier, CP, right? So from the branches to the data center, putting the SASE and the SD-WAN as an overlay, and supporting our customers doing the work from home, or as Mark mentioned, work from anywhere earlier. I think it's much easier for us to do the operations and build economies of scale and managing the dashboard and all the configuration settings if we're just talking to one specific brand.
Yeah. Thank you, Sir Edsel and CP. Definitely, I agree with your statements. Probably just to add, for me, my mantra when it comes to security is that an effective cybersecurity strategy is always about people, process, and technology. Yep. So those three needs to work hand in hand in a synergy, no? So you can have an effective security strategy whether we're talking about hybrid work, whether we're talking about cloud adoption or whatnot. Okay, a security strategy is always about those three things, right? People, process, and technology. So definitely, I agree with the inputs, no, from our gentleman in the screen, right? Right. So here's another question. Okay, another question, right? So for this one is a bit interesting. Okay. So, so the question is, do you advocate self-manage IT or through a service provider? I guess the question is whether do we build our own capability or shall we outsource it? Let's say from a service provider like Eastern. What are the benefits and advantages or probably disadvantages if there's any? Yeah.
If I may answer that first,
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
yeah, Mark. The question is very, 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 very timely with the the launch of our new solutions. I mean, it's Fortinet and Eastern Solutions in the next coming months. Last year, we started propagating, I should say, the good news about democratization of cybersecurity in the Philippines. Currently, who have the luxury of keeping their own cyber experts, right? Big enterprises. And even big enterprises, even they have challenges, and specifically in the Philippine settings, where the attrition is very high. It is nice if we can actually keep our own, competencies in-house. But we always have to worry about, the attrition also in the country. I met a lot of cyber professionals when I was on holiday in the States last December, January. Some of them were my previous students, and they were also telling me that it's a lucrative profession in the States. Now, my point here is that everybody deserves to get their network protected. We started hearing that concern before from the banking industry only. They are so, how should I say that, averse in building, for example, their SIEM and Security Operations Center. It's nice if they can build their own and develop their own people, but again, at the end of the day, it will require big capex and operational expense, and always have to worry about the turnover of the people. And the project which I was speaking about earlier, this is actually an Eastern and Fortinet project. Expect for it, guys, probably in the next 1 or 2 months. We have our initial testing already. It's working. I'm very, very glad about what's happening. It is as I mentioned, it's a democratization of cybersecurity, meaning even in the remote provinces, it's very agnostic on whoever your ISP is. It is also agnostic on whatever brand you have in your data center, whether using Fortinet Firewall or Fortinet brands or any other brands, as long as we can, put a collector down there in your data center and bring all the logs, all the traffic notifications to our SIEM. It's actually our SIEM as a service. We can do SIEM as a service, and we can also do the managed SOC for you guys. Okay, so in such a way that even the SMEs, MSMEs, that probably have limited capability of keeping their own cyber professionals will be able to protect their network as well. And that's, I should say, it's not bad to build your own in-house, competencies. If you can afford that, it's very good. But this is an avenue for us to really bend, the businesses in the Philippines, which we believe in Eastern Communications, everybody deserves to be protected from cyber criminals. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Sir
Thanks,
Edsel.
So, Mark, may I add something also? Yeah, I think it's
Go ahead.
well said, right, Sir Edsel? And I would like to also add on to what you've alluded to. I think I mentioned earlier there's this great shortage in cybersecurity skills, IT skills, I think in general. So how do we build up that skill set, right? I think together with a managed service provider like Eastern Communications, what we are able to do is to reap that economies of scope and scale, right? And especially for certain organizations that you really would be kind of hands tied, if you want to be able to build this kind of infrastructure from a technology point of view, to borrow Mark's words, right? To have the people and then to have the processes. I think earlier on, Sir Tony did mention that Eastern is ISO 9001-2015 certified, right? To get this kind of ISO certification, get the processes done, it's not an easy feat, right? Probably takes an organization years to get there. Right? So being able to leverage on a service provider to do this part of stuff, I think would be an advantage.
Thanks, CP. Thanks, Sir Ed. So I think this one is our last question, just to give more time for our raffle prizes. Okay. So I think this one was sent directly to me. So his question is, can you share more cybersecurity policies or guidelines for a hybrid setup? So I think this one is fitting as we close this this panel discussion, right? Probably some final thoughts or best practices when it comes to hybrid setup. Yeah.
I think maybe let me take this first, Mark.
Yeah, go ahead, CP.
Sure. I think if I may just refer back to what I mentioned just now, there are a few pillars that we need to look at, right? While we say, hey, we want to do hybrid work, the first thing that comes to mind probably is how I'm going to allow people to connect into your infrastructure, your network, to access your data information anywhere, right? So this is probably the problem statement. And the first knee-jerk reaction, like what happened 2 years ago, was to just get VPN connectivity, right? So now, with hindsight, with the benefit of hindsight, we know that, hey, that's just probably the basic. We need to consider things like how do you make sure that the person who is accessing is really the person, the device is clean, so there's zero trust itself. When you're in already, where can you allow that user or the device to access, right, within your network itself? That's zero trust network access, right? And not enough, right? We're talking about also your data, your information. How are you going to protect them from a web application to APIs to email security and what have you? So it has to be an end-to-end. It's and it has to be something that's evolving. It keeps changing and it keeps, or I should say, improving. If I were to just go back to the ISO thing, right? There's one thing that is, I think, common throughout all ISO processes, and it is continuous process improvement, right? We have to keep evaluating what you have and keep improving on it. I think that's what we need to do.
Wow. Thank you, CP. I have another question for Sir Edsel, pahabol from one of our audience. So thank you, CP, by the way. Again, for Sir Edsel, given the remote working and digital events have boomed during the height of the pandemic until today, do you have anything that we should look out for cybersecurity as an added feature?
Well, we've seen different surveys and the research from reputable, organizations like Fortinet about how cyber threats proliferated, especially during the pandemic, right? Just also in line with the question earlier addressed to CP about the hybrid work environment, which I believe it will be here to stay. Just trust no one, right? Just have to trust no one. Even our home environment. I consider that as polluted home environment, right? Imagine you're at home connecting to your Wi-Fi, generic Wi-Fi, access point provided by our telco providers, and it's the same SSID being utilized by yourself in connecting to the office network, in connecting to your office email, and it's the same SSID or same last mile, I should say, same access that are also being used by your kids in schooling. The same access being used by your wife or your husband or your partner in their work, or similar access that's also being used by the smart devices, by Alexa, by Hey Google, and by all the stuff, right? And I think it's but mandatory that we have to really secure that access to your own office, your own data center, especially if you're, let's say, an IT professional and you're managing your data center from your home. It's but enough, or I should say it's mandatory, that you really have to protect your connectivity from your house or anywhere else going to go. It's also mandatory. It's also mandatory that we have to put these cybersecurity, solutions in place.
All right. Thank you, Sir Edsel. I think that's our last question for the day. Again, thank you, CP and Sir Edsel, for your inputs during our panel discussion. Right. So probably just to wrap things up, maybe hear from Sir Edsel for some closing remarks before we go to the
Okay.
raffle. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mark. Good afternoon again, everybody. Thanks to our partners from Fortinet, from VST, CS, Mr. Margayubit, CP is there, Yel, thank you very much also, and from my colleague in Eastern Marketing, Mr. Tony Casas. Indeed, very, very insightful trends on cybersecurity today. Your latest developments and solutions in Fortinet are, I should say, indeed, very instrumental in today's world, especially in Eastern Communications, as we continuously come up with new solutions for our market. With our focus today, specifically on making our work from home, or as you said earlier, work from anywhere environment secure. And I'm excited. I shared with you earlier already about this. I'm excited to share with everybody that we will be releasing our new joint initiative with Fortinet, Eastern Communications in Fortinet, in pushing forward the democratization of cybersecurity in the Philippines, not only for big enterprises, but even for the MSMEs. So I have also shared this in my webinars in the past. I mentioned earlier, even our home environment is unsecured. Of course, most especially if we are connecting from public internet, right? So it is but right that, it is essential, I should say, that despite the opening of the economy, knowing that the hybrid work will continue to stay, we protect our assets of our companies, and the information that are entrusted to us, whether that's the company information or the data of our customers or our partners. Indeed, these new technologies present us with, I should say, astonishing possibilities, but also with unforeseen threats. We can either master these inventions for good, or we can allow the darker potentials to be harnessed by, I should say, many dark actors. So to ensure the technology is a force for good, it is vital that we all, whether you are in a tech company or otherwise, we collaborate together. At Fortinet and Eastern Communications, together with you, we believe our partnership can go places. We can ensure this end. So by working together, we can ensure that the digital revolution brings with it the kind of technologies we urgently need. Those that help us tackle our collective challenges, making our businesses flourish, and making life easier for the many. Maraming salamat po. It's great to see you again. And despite what's happening around us, with COVID still around, we don't go in war, and the increase in the fuel prices, still, let's keep on inspiring each other. Good afternoon to everybody.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us and joining us for ETBI hashtag WeEmerge 2022. Thank you, Sir Edson, Sir CP, Boss Mark, for the wonderful panel discussion. But of course, we have not forgotten our raffle for this afternoon session. But for you to qualify for the raffle, make sure to fill out the survey. I think the cutoff is after the panel discussion, right? Right, so they are in the process of converting all the names to our spin wheel application. Okay, so we have more raffle prizes to be given away. Lucky winner will be drawn with via wheel of names. All our participants' names that successfully fill out the survey form are entered into the wheel. So Prizes are shown in the screen. Right, so we have 5 lucky winners of worth 1,000 Sudoku. We also have 2 lucky winners of Fortinet Team Canteen and 1 lucky winner of HP Desktop AI or AA2335 Lavender Print. Copy scan all-in-one printer. This is perfect for work from home setup, right? Okay, are you ready, guys? Type the word yes in the chat box if you are ready to start spin the wheel. Gives everyone hoping to for luck. All right, so let's begin our raffle. Guys, let's spin the wheel. Let's now identify the 5 lucky winners of worth 1,000 selections. Okay, now let's start. All right, the first lucky winner is from E-Data Services, Mr. Kenny Roger Manalo. Congratulations, sir. For the second winner, okay, we have Miss Arian Rose Aquino from Pearl Marina Spark Properties and Realty Corp. Congratulations, Miss Arian. You won 1,000 subsidies. Okay, next winner. Okay, our third lucky winner is Mr. Ted Matthew Destriza from Paul Kings Group 2. Congratulations, Sir Ted. Okay, let's reveal the next winner. Our fourth winner is Mr. J from Pearl Marina. Congratulations. Our fifth lucky winner of 1,000 Sudets with EC. Again, from Pearl Marina, Mr. Kenneth. Congratulations, Sir Kenneth. All right, congratulations for all the winners of Selected GC. Now, let's review the 2 lucky winners of Fortinet Commodore in Canteen. Perfect also for the work from home setup. From the Keepers Holding Inc., Mr. Dino Carlo Barilla. Congratulations, Sir Dino. Second winner of our Fortinet Commodore in Canteen. It's no other than Mr. Francis Andrew Alincastro from Key Discovery Consulting. All right, now let's proceed to the grand raffle. Okay. Who will be the lucky grand raffle winner of HP DeskJet IA2335 Lavender Print Copy Scan All in Printer? Okay, are you ready, guys? I think ready na sila. Let's spin the wheel, guys. Congratulations to Ms. Marjorie Miranda from Nationwide Marketing Services, Inc. You won HP DeskJet AI 2335 Lavender printer copy scan all in one printer. Congratulations, Miss Marjeline. All right, so congratulations to all the winners. Our team will coordinate with you on how to claim your prizes. There you have it, guys. Thank you for attending and joining ETPI on hashtag WeEmerge 2022. Stay safe and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Owel. Thank you, everyone.